Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of January the 23rd, 2020. Just before we start, there's currently a petition asking the developers to update Injustice. We've got the link in the description. When we checked it earlier today, it was just over 600 signatures. So it's doing well. So go ahead and sign that if you are so inclined. The current challenge is Teen Titans Raven. That is a 1-week repeat, and the required characters for that are Killer Frost, Scorpion, and Hawkgirl, who are all challenge golds. And I don't think we've ever seen that before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Except for Teen Titans Raven.
Yeah, except for Teen Titans Raven previously.
It does seem like it's particularly egregious, so it does stand out in my mind.
Yeah, so that's going to be really hard for any incoming players. It's going to be hard for, I think, most people who haven't been playing for a significant amount of time to get, just because of how they're spaced out. But her passive is Demonic Embrace, which is special attacks have a chance to drain 25% health and power. Raven receives all health and power that has been drained, and her stats are 1400 attack and 1200 health, which is, good high stats.
Right. And she was available not too long ago, just in September 2019. And I was looking over some of the notes that I'd kept on her, and since the last time she's run as a challenge, my opinion about her has completely changed. So I called her my second least favorite Raven, the worst in any sort of circumstances being Regime Raven.
Yeah.
Now she's my second favorite.
And which sounds like a bigger thing than it is.
Yeah, because it's kind of funny because there's only 4 Ravens, right? So she's moved up one slot from third to second. And it depends a lot on what part of the game you're playing and where you are in the game. And in my mind, Prime or Rebirth are probably number one. I mean, Prime because she's the great equalizer with her health swap.
Yeah, so for something like Survivor.
Right, she's absolutely aces for Survivor. Rebirth because stealing power is super useful in any situation, right? And I say Regime Raven is the worst because of her low health and a really bad passive. So her passive, I think, is basic attacks will drain power for 6 seconds. Happens one time during the fight when her health drops to less than 40%, which is awful. And to me, Rebirth and Teen Titans are number 1 and number 2 for multiplayer, with maybe Rebirth a small favorite only because Rebirth has a better passive. But Teen Titan Raven has the better special 2, and her passive is okay. I mean, you don't need it to trigger even for her to be so great, but we've demonstrated her in a previous video, and I'll link that in the description, that where we've used her on a team, and in that optimized Masters Deathcart Tantu Totem loadout, where she's your special 2 specialist, her special 2, because of the way it's set up and broken up into separate hits, it does the perfect amount of damage to really optimize taking out the other team and using her as your specialist.
For sure. So there we go. This week's multiplayer award is Master's Arms, which becomes Master's Deathcart, which ends up with the abilities after tag-in, enemy blocking stops 20% less damage for 6 seconds, 100% area effect, opponent's team takes 15% damage from your special attacks, 100% area effect, opponent's team takes 35% damage on your combo ender, and then the evolved ability, which gives 100% chance to deal 20% unblockable damage on tag-in.
All right, so this was last available July 2019. It seems the sequence is continuing basically the same way last week's Ares was also July 2019.
Yeah.
And in my mind, this is an excellent, one of the best 4.5-star gears.
Yeah, and one of the best parts about it is actually hidden in the evolved passive.
Right.
Like, the evolved passive is great for a lot of reasons that aren't obvious when you just read it.
Right. So let's go through them in order. The reduced blocking, I don't really notice that much because the unblockable tagging damage, that last ability, it lets you get unblocked hits anyways. So even if they're blocking when you tag in, if you just wait a moment, they drop their block before they can hit you, with the one exception being when they have bars of power and they do a special, in which case at the moment where they drop their block, you can't attack them because they'll actually be able to hit you right back. The area effect on specials isn't as good either as the other splash damage, like Fourth World Mace and League of Assassins Knives, because it doesn't happen all at once. It sort of ticks off a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
So when you knock somebody out, the person who's tagging in is taking almost no splash damage.
And even more than that, it's just a low percent, right? 15% isn't that much.
That's true, except for Special 2, that's all you're getting out of the 4th World Godly Mace.
That's
true. We're spoiled by the knives giving us 50%.
Yeah.
They just don't take any of the splash damage when they tag in.
Yeah, and as it reads, the unblockable damage on tag in is pretty good. But if you actually look at how it plays, it's so much better.
I mean, the one thing actually is, though, that it's not unblockable. They say it's unblockable. It's not. Like, you can block it and not get hit. Like, you take reduced damage. I mean, it's not that you don't get hit. You just take reduced damage and you don't get knocked over, so you're not vulnerable to other attacks.
Yeah. And so the two things that it does that it's great is the most important thing is that it gives you power with a hit.
Yes, because each of those hits counts like as if you were hitting somebody and generating the same amount of power.
But the other thing that it does is it's good spacing and timing, right? Where if you come in and somebody's trying to hit you, right, it interrupts them. Yes, because it supersedes them. You can't get interrupted when it's doing that, and it'll do it when you come in no matter what. So no matter what they're doing, it's great for spacing, and it's a good opportunity to have them drop their block and then come in and combo into a special or something else.
Now the power gen is funny because it's great in multiplayer where your hits generate more power than when you hit somebody. You generate more power than when you get hit.
Yeah.
But in offline play, it's the opposite. So getting hit generates more power, and I guess in offline they designed it like that because it's an equalizer, right? So it makes it harder for you to win in fights where you're fighting against people that are stronger.
Yeah, it makes it more of a grind-based game where fights are gonna pretty close to equal out unless you have better stats.
But it also means that if you get good enough, you're just gonna do better.
Yeah.
Like if your stats are high enough, you're gonna beat the other team even if your strategy at fighting is not that great.
Yeah, it makes a narrower bell curve of success and failure rates around sort of the stats of the opponent, where you need to have pretty close to their stats to be able to win.
Right.
Yeah. In the store, we've got Flashpoint Batman for 27 Canadian. Not worth it. It's one copy, won't unlock in your store. It's probably what next week challenges. It's not always, but
Well, this is the funny thing. Okay, so and I should mention too, you still get 100,000 credits.
Yeah, so it's better than it's
the last few weeks. Yeah. But the last time this pack came in, the next week I think it was Animated Batman Beyond, so it was a different Batman.
Yeah.
So this might be another one of those teases, but he is without a doubt, I think one of the best characters, because even on a team that isn't all full Flashpoint, he's just such a good basic.
If the next week is Animated Batman Beyond, I am going to have mad respect for this called shot.
I don't know that's that difficult to call shot when it's happened before. I
just think that would be cool if it's really that much of a pattern, right? Yeah. I mean, it takes effort to notice that pattern. I still say good on you. I can pat you on the back for it.
All right.
We also have Sorcery Pack 1 for 27 Canadian, which comes with Zatanna, Raven, and Kondak Black Adam. So this one's also not worth it. I would Flashpoint Batman is good enough that I think Flashpoint Batman might actually be more valuable in this one. It's hard for me to say, just because of
the real value. I think is sometimes just getting a copy of character, because these two of them are challenge only, right?
Yeah.
And so future challenges, to have them in your roster so you can get through the requirements is useful. I mean, Black Adam, you get a silver, so you don't need them.
Yeah, but Zatanna and Raven, just in case they're at requirements. Yeah, but they don't unlock in your store, so that's really their main value, right? You're not going to be eluding them up purely through paying.
Yeah, it's funny how we talk about eluding, because that's what their number thing is, right? But they call it promotion, I think. Like, it's weird. Like, I can't bring myself. My gut reaction is always to say eluding also.
Yeah, even though eluding is not actually.
It's not really a word.
Yeah.
Not a verb, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Survivor, we have the League of Assassins gear until the 29th of January, 2020. Phantom Zone is finished. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough was as expected. It was Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Lobo, which is what we said in our last recap. And so according to that same pattern, next weekend should be Lex Luthor, Batman, and Doomsday, based on the schedule that we maintain. But there's also a schedule that you can cross-reference that says the same stuff that Devlin 16 made, that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And we have that linked in the description if you want to check that out for yourself.
Right. So moving on to current glitches, remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist, linked in the eye in the top right corner of this video and also in the description. We are Android only, so we can only confirm these glitches for Android.
Yeah.
And we should start with the significant not working glitches, because if you want to see the working glitches, you could have been checking out our playlist, which we maintain fastidiously.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no working glitch for credits that we will endorse. If you want to hear the that we will endorse part in more detail, go to season 6, episode 9 of our P and Q and C and A and T. But basically, there's a 2-device credit glitch that we don't support because signing into 2 devices at the same time is dangerous in our opinion and not worth doing.
Right. 1 account, 2 devices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's currently nothing for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards. There's currently nothing exploitable to get early multiplayer season rewards. Some people are having it happen, but it's normally bad when it does.
Right.
And that's just totally by accident. Nothing to get through the Phantom Zone quickly. And the free energy without having to watch a video glitch is not doable right now.
You can't watch the video.
There's no button. So, I mean, I think technically we could put that in our Twilight Zone where the conditions are wrong.
Oh, that's true, actually. Maybe we should. Okay.
But for the last little bit, we've been putting it in the not working just because,
that's true.
You know, it's sort of news.
Right. All right, so let's go to the working glitches. The challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working, confirmed on the current Teen Titans Raven challenge. Even though Phantom Zone isn't there, a reminder that they are basically the same glitch. So if you're doing one, you're doing the other. Just keep that in mind. If you think you want to reset the challenge, you know you're going to be resetting any kind of Phantom Zone progress that's there. We've cut and pasted a comment from viewer Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on an iOS device, but we cannot test it ourselves to confirm. But it seems like there's been some good feedback, so it probably is effective.
So there we go. Breakthrough glitch, to let you play it repeatedly, is still working. And again, we've cut and pasted into the description a comment for people with a potential solution for if you're having trouble playing extra breakthroughs that we can't confirm. But I think have we gotten feedback on that one? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's there anyways.
Yeah.
You can be the first feedback.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody likes being first, apparently. Well, not everybody. There's a lot of people who seem to like being first.
Yeah, and there's some people who don't like other people being first.
That's true. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Listen, it's all engagement, baby.
Yeah.
It's all numbers. Comment as many times as you want about whatever you want.
Yeah. The airplane mode / refund glitch still working. It's good for both packs of the random drops, also known as loot boxes, and last laugh tickets. We should point out that it does not work in the Phantom Zone when it's around and working, because the Phantom Zone requires an online connection to get your last crystal converted into a character.
Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. As always, return your clock back to normal before you finish.
And I should point out, since it may not be obvious, the reason why that free video or the free recharge with the video was important, because that you could do while you were in the middle of a multiplayer ladder.
Yeah.
And the time shift, we would not recommend you do that in the middle of a multiplayer ladder.
Because it makes stuff a little more unstable. You're more likely to crash. It's more likely to mess with stuff.
And there's a chance that could be a trigger for a suspension if you're messing around with your device in the middle of being actually online and playing.
And in between not working and working glitches, we have the promotion glitch, where you can promote characters that are still locked. Hasn't had the right conditions since update 2.14, so it's not testable, it's not usable, but it hasn't failed us yet. So it's still in here because we love technicalities.
Yeah.
And to finish up, we'd like to give a huge thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon.
All right, so that's a big thank you to Console Peasant and Edwoon, who are supporting us at the top tier last word. Mohammed Albshaiti on the Your Message Here tier. Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, and Michael DeVries, who are supporting us on the credited level, and Chris Wolff at the gratitude level.
Yeah, so thanks so much for your support, and thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.